Well, this was definitely unexpected, but it does make sense why we got the GT7 1.63 patch a little bit earlier, I guess to not coincide quite as much with the state of play, or maybe to time with it more so, I guess you could argue. It's a new evolution, if you will, kind of like what they did with GT Sport, and Spec 3 of GT7 is coming along in December, 8 new cars. From what I can see in the footage, we only actually see 4 new vehicles, which are the Formula Gran Turismo, which in probably a slightly different form to the versions which we've had before, will doubtless still be a massive draw for many people. A new GT race car, isn't that amazing? People have been asking for that for so long, and yes, it's only one car, but you never know what the other 4 might be, and it's the Ferrari 296 GT3, which I'm sure plenty of people will be very happy to see. This one is very, very close to me. In fact, both of these next ones are, because one of them is a car which I've so consistently been saying is shocking that it isn't already back. The Mitsubishi FTO is finally returning in full premium HD glory, and for the first time at least that I can recall, we're actually seeing a special projects replica build arrive in the game proper. The Mines BNR34 Skyline, which is going to be really fun to both visually and performance-wise in particular, compared to that build which I did in special projects. One of the key things here will of course be 2 new circuits. One of them is a big surprise to me, I hadn't really heard any chatter about it, Marina. I'm really happy to see that come into GT and I can't wait to get on there. The other one is of course a circuit which we have talked about ages ago now on the channel in the news section, Villeneuve, and that's a track which I feel like a lot of people have totally forgotten about because we always talk about stuff like, you know, Silverstone and the more obvious stuff. Midfield is another one which I always go back to, but yeah, those are 2 very, very strong additions. Of course, still having such a massive dry spell is, well, it's just that, it's a huge amount of time between circuits, but it is better to have something. This incidentally does indicate to me that the next game is still probably a fair ways off. I would imagine probably at least a year and a half, if not more, before we would see the next game, possibly 2 years. In terms of other stuff though, it actually gets better and better as far as an update goes, because there are new circuit experiences. I know that's not particularly exciting, but of course for those new circuits that will be more to do. A new data logger feature being added as well, which for those who like to get super technical will be great to see and great to use. The seasonal style events like the weekly stuff, which let's be honest get very, very repetitive, and a lot of the rewards don't really feel that great, you know, like 6-star parts and all that rubbish. Those are being, it would seem, integrated with driving missions, so stuff like One Lap Magic, very Gran Turismo 4 style. That's something which I'm very curious to see how they implement it, because if you do that right, it could be really fun, finally having more missions in there as well as of course adding to career mode. Speaking to adding to the career mode, or overall game experience if you will, they're doing something which kind of surprises me that they hadn't already done this, raising the collector level, because collector level 50 was of course the max, but you can go way beyond the required amount of points, certainly once you collect all of the cars in the game, including multiple 20 million credit cars. Now it appears, again thanks to the footage, to be going above level 51, and this is a pretty good one as well, and I would argue should have been in the game from day one. No expiry invites, or at least that is certainly teased when you can see a Porsche here and it specifically says on the Porsche invitation, no expiry. It's a small change, but definitely a good step in the right direction. As I said, we only saw 4 of the 8 vehicles, so the rest are entirely up to speculation. One of those could very well be, and I suspect probably will be, the Xiaomi, so I guess we kind of could assume 5, but we know 4 for sure because that's what's here in the footage, so I'll stick to that for now. And yeah, very, very interesting news. It's much more of what you would hope for from a Christmas style update within GT. Calling it Spec 3 is interesting. I mean, it's an update at the end of the day. It has a lot more in it, but it's still, you know, let's call it what it is. It's an update within the game. It's not a new game, kind of like the one we had with the Scuderia and the Subaru rally car and the Swiss Alps and all that kind of stuff. Back on form for at least one update this year, which is nice to see. I'm looking forward to it, of course. I suspect that this could mean we'll have less, possibly nothing, in at least the month before. October we'll have to wait and see. Could also be pared down, you never know. And yeah, very, very interesting news. Stick around of course for more. This will of course naturally push back the video I was going to be doing today. The member section video will still be coming out of course, but the motor swaps video will now be tomorrow, pushing off the car reviews just by 1 day. Same schedule but pushed back just by that day, kind of like the update itself. Until then, I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.